Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition. Met the greatest earthquake ever known. High on the rapids, they struck their tiny raft and plunged them down 1,000 feet below to the land of the lost.
Hi viewers of Wasteland TV, we are here with
Phillip Paley.
What did Phil Paley do?
Phil Paley played Chaka on the hit TV show Land of the Lost in the 70s.
What is a Chaka?
Chaka is a Pakuni, and that's who I played.
So, how many years did you play Chaka?
I played Chaka for the 3 years the show ran originally, and from 74 to 76.
So, how did you get the part of Chaka?
I got the part of Chaka by auditioning, the way that actors audition for parts, same process, and yeah,
so
I got the part.
So I've seen the show. Were you surprised that Chaka wasn't a speaking part?
Well, Chaka was a speaking part,
but it
actually.
was African language.
No, it wasn't African. It was Pakuni. And Pakuni,
I was reading somewhere that they used the African language for it.
They did. The linguist that put together the language for the show, Victoria Fromkin, who was a UCLA language professor, she developed Pakuni, and one of the languages that was used, it was a combination of a few different languages, but the Western African language was part of Pakuni, yes.
So, how hard was that for you to learn?
Well, it was kind of difficult when you're 10 or 11 years old to speak a different language. Not necessarily knowing all the time what the words meant, but you know, I picked it up pretty well.
What about your fellow co-stars who were Pakunis?
What do you mean? What about?
Your co-stars who also spoke the language.
Oh yeah.
The Pakuni.
Yeah.
Did they have the same trouble?
No. I mean, we all memorized our lines, and you know, sometimes we knew what they meant, other times not so much, but we made it work.
So, what about the change in writers over the three seasons of the show? Did you feel that had anything to affect the show?
Well, yeah, there were different writers for each episode, generally.
No, I'm just saying as arcs, because like David Gerald was in charge of season 1,
yes,
and then they switched over to another writer, and then when it went to Uncle Jack, it was a whole nother group of writers.
This is true. So yeah, I think that season 1 and 2 had a nice flow to it. Season 3 seemed a little outrageous.
Yeah, so did I. Felt that way watching it again.
They had all these weird guests come in all the time, and the stories were different. Whereas in the first 2 seasons, the story arc was more about a family, you know, at odds with, you know, their environment. And I just think it flowed better, but you know, the 3rd season was interesting too, I guess.
I thought it was interesting in the 1st season is that the show actually has an ending.
In the 1st season?
1st season, they actually get home.
They do, but they come back.
Yeah, it's a time loop.
Right. Exactly.
But do you think the writing had a lot to do with the show being canceled over time?
No, I don't think it had to do with the writing. I think it had to do with, well, there were a few different reasons why the show ended, but I think for the most part, the 3rd season was like the jump the shark moment anyway. Kind of was the downturn of
once
the
they
show.
lost Marshall.
Huh? Yeah. When Spencer left after the 2nd season, I think it was kind of a blow.
Ron Harper was kind of like a odd man out.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did a good job, you know, for what he had to, you know, deal with, you know, coming in, you know.
Being thrown into something new, unusual.
But the show definitely had a different feel the third season, that's for sure.
So, did you, in the third season, losing the other Pakuni, did you think, and Chaka learning how to speak English, did you prefer that easier though, Ford?
Yeah, it was a little odd, like he picked it up really quickly in the third season. I thought it was kind of odd, but yeah, it was easier for me to do my lines because I wasn't speaking in Pakuni, which, you know, Pakuni I didn't know by heart. You know? It wasn't like I knew the whole language. So.
You don't speak it every day.
No.
That's why it's like I was always wondering about that, how hard that was.
It was difficult, and there was a physicality to the part as well. So, but because of my martial arts training, you know, the physicality came pretty easy to me. It was, you know, learning, you know, saying the Pakuni lines and hitting my marks and everything. You know, coordinating all that.
So, talking about your martial arts, what have you done in the martial arts since you brought that up?
Well, that was the reason why I got, other than auditioning for the show, was I was the youngest black belt in U.S. history at age 9.
Oh, wow.
And I was on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and my karate instructor, Chuck Norris. And we did, you know, some karate moves on you know, live television. And I flipped Johnny Carson. And that's the producers of Land of the Lost saw that, and so that's what they recognized me from.
We're getting serenaded here. So, theme music.
There you go.
So
that's a perfect time to end the.
Yes.
When I look all around, I can't believe the things I found. Now I need to find my way. I must find